Alright, so this video is going to cover Albany, New York, some areas like up towards Lake Ontario, east of Rochester, mostly, Syracuse and the surrounding areas, and a few other cities kind of scattered in here. Got a great list here, 100 spots, so let's get started. In no particular order. VIA Aquarium. I'm not going to read every single one of these. You can read clearly. At least I hope you can, right? The zoo. Now this is just designed so that you can just take a list here. If you're heading to these areas and maybe you're visiting or you're expanding your portfolio, just for you to take a list of this and maybe screenshot some of these. Or if you're just with family and friends and you want something different to do, good selfie opportunities or just friend photos, whatever the case may be, right? So I did one recently in Western New York. That was the last video I posted. And so I'm just going to keep working in different areas and expanding. Now this state of New York has tons of forests, tons of state national forests, things like that. And I'm going to probably make a separate video just featuring that. But this is just, it's going to have a good variety here. Different parks, as you can see, museums, scenic spots, just overall attractions. So if you guys are heading to these areas, let me know what you've seen in these and what I missed. Of course, I'm going to miss some spots. I did take a look at some of the suggestions from locals who live there and found some online communities and threads that certain suggestion points for wedding photos, prom photos, etc. Different arenas, sports events are always good. A lot of cool parks in here. Nature preserves. Maritime Museum, Oswego, New York, West Pierhead Lighthouse. There's a couple different lighthouses, so those always make for good photo ops. Safe Haven Museum, Fort Ontario State Historic Site. I'm not sure about this one, but it's got really good reviews, so you might want to check that out. Syracuse University, as you know, I've made several of these videos already. I like to throw on the college campuses because they have such uniqueness to them. Different buildings, architecture, cool looking structures, open fields, War Museum, War Memorial. There's the Museum of Art, Erie Canal Museum, Museum of Science and Technology, State Fairgrounds, of course, like I mentioned. There's a whole bunch of these, not necessarily fairgrounds, but state parks and nature preserves throughout the whole state, especially in upstate New York. Up towards Plattsburgh, I might make a video with that. Finger Lakes, Trailhead. This area is probably one of the most prominent known spots in New York, are the Finger Lakes. I've been through here. I've been to Ithaca. There's a few spots in Ithaca I wanted to point out here. Buttermilk Falls. It seems like every state has a Buttermilk Falls of some sort. I don't know why, but it just seems like I'm always finding one. Sledding Hill with a cool overlook. State parks. I did throw a couple of these in there. Like I said, I didn't want to do too many of those just because I could probably make a separate video just with that. I mean, there's that many. Tagahannock. I've never pronounced some of these, so I'm seeing these for the first and second time. I'm usually pretty good at pronouncing things, but Cayuga Lake boat tours. Where are you guys from? Let me know in the comments below. And what area you're heading to, or if you've seen any of these places, make a comment here. Let me know what's worthy and what's not, what I've missed. Historical landmarks. Bird watching area. Obviously this is not designed for, I'm not going to go through the history of these, but it's just a quick spot, so that way you can refer to this later. Cayuga waterfront trail lookout points. Just give you a good idea on kind of what you're looking at. Here's Ithaca. There's a whole bunch of spots in there. Seems like a really ritzy, upscale town. Cornell University is in Ithaca. That's like super high-end. High-end education right there. The Gorge Trail, more waterfalls. Walkway over the Hudson State Park. It's got 6,600 reviews. So that must be a hot spot, right? Especially if there's tons of reviews and they're all really good. Hudson Bridge walking elevator. Now that's definitely sounds interesting. I don't really know what that's about, but we're going to keep moving along here. Railroad Company, Hudson River Maritime Museum, Sojourner Truth State Park. I didn't want to do too many parks, like I said, because there's so many of them, but there's still a couple that are noteworthy at least. Saugerties Lighthouse, State Historic Park, Onondaga Park, Ananda Park, I don't know how you pronounce that one. Albany Capitol Center, and the state capitol's coming up. There's that. I don't think I might have driven through Albany. I don't remember. I've been to about 40 states. Corning Preserve Playground. Now that looks extremely peaceful. The Utica Zoo, yeah, Utica has a few spots there. There's a couple zoos in this one. I think 2 or 3 zoos I remember. House Museum. Harris Hill Overlook. National Soaring Museum. What's this about? Aviation? Okay, I've seen quite a few aviation museums in some of the other cities I pointed out. History Museum. All you history buffs out there, that's not really my cup of tea, but hey, to each their own, right? Mark Twain's Study. Elmira, New York. This is southern, almost at the PA border. More Art Museum. Watkins Glen, if you're into NASCAR and racing. I've actually driven very close to this area back when we were truckers, so I've seen a few different spots. Kuka Lake, is it Kuka or Kuka? Kuka Lake. One of the Finger Lakes there. 5 or 6 waterfall photos I've seen. This doesn't even include, Niagara Falls. I just did a video on that. Seneca Mill and Falls, Penn Yan, New York. So some of these are going to be in the very, similar areas to each other. More museums, historical landmarks. Fillmore Glen State Park. The Nature Center. High Tour Wildlife. Kuka Lake State Park. And we're just getting through this list here. So, Finger Lakes National Forest, I think there's a bunch of spots within that area that are worthwhile. Bristol Mountain Ski Resort, I've been skiing a couple times. Definitely hurts your back when you fall, and just getting up, not easy. It kind of came naturally to me, but still when you fall it hurts, especially if you're challenging yourself and doing more difficult hills. And if you're not used to it, right? Corning Museum of Glass. Is this the Corning glass? I don't know. I think of Corning like dishes and plate sets. That's the only thing that comes to mind when I think of Corning. Corningware. Kitchen cookware, things like that. Dishes. Montezuma Wildlife Refuge, and then overall just Syracuse in general. A lot of the downtown cities have some really cool spots. I didn't include airports. I do like those for plane spotting opportunities, but that's pretty much all I have for you right now. So stay tuned for more videos. We're going to do a whole bunch of these in this series. So stay tuned for more, and we'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.